What up, team? Welcome to another episode of our Get Lean series. Today, I will be cooking for you, and just let me warn you, I don't cook. So this is why it's gonna be such a dope episode, because if you don't cook like me, or you can't cook like me, I should say, then this is for you. So, protein is one of the hardest things for me to hit when it comes to my macros. And as we know, if you've been following this series, Bart and I are in a competition. If you are like, wait, what is happening? Go revert back to episode 1 and get caught up, okay? But for those of you that have been watching, you know that Bart and I are in a competition. And at the end of this competition, you know that there is a punishment for the person that loses the least amount of fat. To ensure that I stay on track and I hit these proteins and I stay in a caloric deficit, this is what I do to set myself up for success. Because I don't cook, I make something as simple as an egg and ham burrito. But here's the trick, okay? We got to get the fat-free cheese, because this ingredient by itself is 18 grams of protein. And you would think, right, that the ham would have the most amount of protein? No, it still has protein, but it's only 8 grams of protein. The thing with this, though, is that I keep the fats low. So whenever it is that I am tracking, I do try to do a 2-to-1 ratio at the bare minimum. So for every 1 gram of fat, I try to hit 2 protein, okay? So we'll do that. So this meal right here is gonna be 274 calories with 18 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fat, and a whopping 43 grams of protein. Bro, let's do it. Okay, so the reason why I love this meal, obviously because it's high in protein, but it's super quick to make, especially if you're like me, who is constantly on the go, and I have a toddler that I'm always worried about. So this is my quick go-to meal when I'm like, I don't want to think about stuff, I just want it to be easy. Chop up some quick ham, throw it all in the pan, and you're off. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna let the pan warm up a little bit, because if you don't do that, you're gonna taste the cold ass oil, and it's just, your whole food's gonna taste hella nasty. Once it's a little bit warmed up, then I do like to spray some Pam. I stick to olive oil, and I love this because it's literally zero everything. So we're gonna spray this. Don't do this at home. This is not the way to do it, but this is what I do. This is actually better than what I used to do, because what I used to do is I used to spray it directly on the fire until I went, and I was like, let's not do that again. So I'm gonna start with the ingredient that takes a little bit longer to cook. Even though the ham is cooked, I like it to be a little bit warm and kind of browned. I don't know if that makes a real big difference, but I do enjoy it. So this is about 6 slices here. This is what is gonna provide an additional 8 grams of protein with like very minimal fats. I think this is only about like 2.5 fat. So as you can see, it cooks fairly quickly. I do like to keep the flame at about a medium to low, because it allows for me to move slower, watch what's happening. If I have to, like, I don't know, I just don't feel rushed and things don't get burnt again, because I don't cook. So I'm just browning it a bit, just making sure that nothing's really stacked on top of each other. I'm also not like the biggest foodie. I'm not someone that gets hangry. I'm not someone that's constantly having to eat. In fact, I'm the actual opposite of that. Sometimes I forget to eat. But what I do tend to do is I love to graze and snack a lot. So this helps me stay fuller longer, so that I'm not thinking about snacking a little bit here, snacking a little bit there. Okay, so that took maybe 1-2 minutes? I think I'm ready to throw in my egg, and I am gonna lower it because you can see things are popping off. I don't want that to happen. So with the egg, I probably will put it at its lowest, or I'll actually turn it off, because if we know egg, we know how quickly they cook, and I don't want it to get burnt. So I am gonna turn off the flame, and I'm just gonna cook it with the residual heat. I am gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of some garlic powder just for taste. And I am just gonna cook it. And then at this point, I'll determine if I need it to be hotter or not, but as you can see, it's kind of already doing its thing. It's so easy, you guys. Like, I don't want to brag, but I do feel, I'm gonna put it up a little bit. I do feel like a freaking chef when I do this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't at all. It actually looks pretty disgusting, and it actually doesn't want to make me eat it. Again, I'm not a foodie. So I'm always thinking about, like, I'm gonna hit my macros. I gotta be Bart. Like, that's the motivation. And while I do that, I'm going to add my cheese. And this is so amazing. Whoever invented the fat-free cheese deserves a Nobel Prize, because it's 0 fat, you guys. 0 fat. And it's 18 grams of protein, y'all. Normally, this would give me about 2 little breakfast burritos, if you will. But because my carbs are so low, I can't really make a burrito out of this. So what I am gonna do, that is included in the calories that I told you guys, is just warm up a little tortilla. This is one of the smart carbs, or like the low carb tortilla. It's actually made out of flaxseed. So I think it only has like 2 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein, and it is. But let me tell you, it tastes even more when I can have 2 of those. But I wanna keep my carbs chilling. I don't want it to be too gnarly, because I do like to snack, and honestly, I try to eat as little amount of carb in the morning or in the daytime, so that at night, I just go off on like candy, or I start eating like, I don't know, rice crackers. Like, I just go heavy on my carbs. Okay, done. I'm done. Look at that. The cheese is melted, it's gooey, it's nice. I'm ready to rock. It's kind of like an omelet. You can like literally do anything at this point. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the most Mexican side of me that you have ever seen online. This is how I grew up making my tortillas. And by making them, I mean just warming them up, okay? I do wanna kind of move this a bit, because I don't want it to get burnt. Move it on the other side. If you're not warming up your tortillas this way, you're doing it wrong. And if you're like, oh, but it's too hot, I'm burning my fingers, then it's like, are you even Mexican, bro? Like, you should be able to flip your tortillas without getting burnt. That's how you know if you're too Mexican or not. That's the test. You have to be able to grab it. Like, honestly, too, like all Mexican moms, they can keep their fingers like right next to the flame for like legit a minute. Fine, I made that up. And then you're kind of done. Oh my God. You're done. I did burn the edges a little bit, but I'm not gonna show you that side. I'm gonna show you this side. Okay, let me plate this bitch. So now, I do like to get a little bit fancy. And I should have had this ready, but I didn't think about it until now. If you haven't heard of Cholula, you need to Cholula it. If you're not a big like hot sauce person, the way I am, this is the perfect amount of spice to flavor. It's kind of vinegary. It's like the best topping that you can ever do. And you throw it on there. And boom, done. I want to say this took, what, 5 minutes to make? You just hit 40 grams of protein and you're done. Doesn't that look dope? So there's a couple ways we can go about this, right? If you have time and the luxury, you can do the Mexican way and you can get the tortilla and you can just start picking it up and start eating it. Or, this is the dad Mexican way. We really don't like using utensils. I've just realized if you need to, you can just use this as a scooper. Bro, this is so bomb. Look at that cheese. Did you see that cheese? This is so perfect. This is so good. And then you take a bite of tortilla. And you just want to mix it up in your mouth. All right, that's it. My quick and easy way to hit your protein and lower the fats. If you guys have any of your favorite recipes that you would so kindly want to share with us, please put it in the comments below, especially if you're a non-cooker like me. I would gladly appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you download the Get Lean program and jump on the journey of getting lean for yourself. And it's not just about getting lean, it really is just about living a healthy lifestyle and being a well-rounded athlete. So scope that out. It's at barbellbrigade.com under Get Lean. Use code YouTube to get 10% off. Until then, let's keep rocking it out. We gonna beat Bart, Team Geo. We gonna do it. We gonna do it, and this is how I'm gonna do it.